Hi guys, my name is Rachel and welcome to today's episode, my top 5 wants for The Sims 4. This is not really a top 5 countdown, it's just what 5 things I just randomly thought of within the last 10 minutes. So basically it's just little random things that I thought that might make the game a bit more interesting if they were added in. At least I think so. I may be looking down quite a lot because I did make a list. A quick list. I wanted to make a video for today. I couldn't figure out which one I could do, so I thought, what do I want in Sims 4? These top 5 things I just thought about right now. So the first thing that I think would make The Sims 4 a little bit more interesting would be more emotions, for example fear and annoyance. I don't think they're kind of categorised a bit, well, not good enough to be honest. Why should a Sim be angry automatically if something a little bothered them? Maybe they should start from being annoyed. And then if it becomes too much, then they get angry. And then so on and so on. It seems a bit of a giant jump if they become angry over, like, I don't know, someone prodding them in the back. No, you just be annoyed and tell them to stop. Fear, that's not been covered yet. But hopefully it should be covered within probably a few more EPs or whatever, or updates. It's quite an important emotion, because if you don't have fear, then how can you protect yourself in life? If something is scary, you do not go and interfere with it. Fear can be just like any other emotion. So if we look at anger, for example, first you get angry. Apparently that's the norm. Like annoyance. So fear. And then if they can fit it in, let's just say scared, there's scared, then there's very scared. Seems to fit a bit more better, I think, in the small box you get. And then before it becomes quite an issue, before your Sim gets scared to death, yep, that's new death, that would probably might fit into. Terrified. And then there'll be a counter before that expires. If you fix it up yourself, calm the Sim down, make them very scared, then there'll be no problem. Just like mortified, which if you calm the Sim down, they'll be very embarrassed. Thankfully, I calmed the Sim down for myself. They didn't die of embarrassment. Phew. So being terrified, they would be scared to death. I don't really have any animations in mind, but probably just like The Sims 2, they jump, freak out, and then dead. But if it's down to a countdown, they probably might shake a little bit with the knees all going, and then down they go. That's how I think. That's the only 2 proper emotions I think that should be added. My next point, and is there an echo? Is my voice being echoed on this? I don't know. I keep hearing an echo. The next point on my list is more feelings. They're not quite like emotions, but if you feel hot, you feel hot. So if there is a seasons expansion or whatever, then the Sim should have a feeling. Then they should feel hot. Then they pop up with a really bright, ooh, ouch, red. And it says feeling hot, and then very hot. And then they could have a heat-related illness, same with cold, very cold, and then something else. I just think it would be a bit more, realistic. So you protect your Sims more and probably learn something about temperature issues that you need to learn about in real life. Don't overheat yourself or you get a heat stroke, or don't get too cold or you get frostbite, and there's something else. Is hypothermia one? Hypothermia. That's probably one. Another point that I think will be really useful for myself and other builders. I'm not a professional builder, I'm just saying. I just do it if it looks nice. Or when people say you are a great builder, I don't see that, but people who build amazing buildings, they're professional builders. I just build and put things where I think looks nice. Okay. To be able to edit world, that's really important. I mean, I'm in Newcrest right now, and it's starting to feel a bit more cramped. I don't feel that there is plenty of land where I could just like splat, you know, a tile down or whatever, you know, a lot tile, and then just build whatever. I mean, I'm not presenting it to anyone else. It doesn't really matter how many stupid lots I have flying around. At least I have a lot in a certain neighbourhood that fits in. Of course, keep the neighbourhoods, yes. Or should be able to add a neighbourhood to restrict loading issues. I mean, yeah. Really, be able to add more neighbourhoods. Just place it down, and then you have one blank area to place these lot tiles to whatever size you want or whatever fits in the typical neighbourhood size. I think that should be an option to be used. Then you can just go nuts and build whatever. Also, another point which I think should be really useful, if that's not possible, is to be able to add multiple blank worlds to your save. So you can either rename the towns to whatever you like. If you don't see multiple towns that look the same to be annoying, then I think this will be really useful. So, Newcrest, I think that since that's a blank world, I don't think that'd be much of a threat to look repetitive, to be honest. So really, you could add multiple Newcrest towns and just rename them. So, for example, we have Newcrest, then, you know, add new town, click Newcrest again, and then you should have an option to either leave it as Newcrest or rename it as another town. I would say call it Pleasant View, I guess. And you have Newcrest and Pleasant View to go nuts over the small land for your save. So you have plenty more spaces for your Sims to live if you have a huge family or other random Sims to play with. So you don't have to think about, oh, how many random pre-made Sims should I just delete that house and get rid of them? One of those things. I have that trouble sometimes. Who should I get rid of, or who shall I keep? It's one of those. And my last point I wasn't too sure about is maybe add cars. You know, cars that you can drive or, you know, pop up in front of your house to take you to places. You know, something that makes make the streets a bit more lively, you know. I mean, of course there are like random cars driving by, but you know, they don't really do anything. I mean, if you walk through them, like the tram or those cars, they won't stop, they just go through you. So it's not really realistic, you don't really feel the connection to the car. So, I can't remember if in The Sims 3 they would stop or just go through you. Actually, they did go through you. That's a bit of a pain in the buttocks, actually. But in The Sims 2 they did stop in front of you, but if you stayed there long enough, I think they vanished. Yeah, or was that The Sims 1? Ooh, but either way, you should feel more connected to the cars and know that they can be a threat to your Sim. Not literally a threat that they're going to go run you over, but a bit of a, you know, if you don't move, they are not going to move and you're going to waste time. So if your Sim is going to work or your kids are going to school, if you stand in front of the car or the bus, then they're going to be late for school and their progress will go down because they're late. Just one of those little things. It'll be a threat to their progression in work or school. That's my point there. You may have noticed I've not really spoken much about toddlers. To be fair, I don't really need toddlers to enjoy a game. So, I'm happy how it's going. If I wanted to play with toddlers, I'll go play another version of the game. I don't really need them. But I understand that there are people who need them, but that shouldn't be the main element for you to go and play a game. If the element that you desire isn't in the game, then you should not go out your way and try to make the game absolutely make it look rubbish. You're gonna waste time, and no one's gonna take any notice. That's my honest opinion. But anyway, that is my top 5, not a countdown thing, of what I want in The Sims 4. Cars and stuff. That's an interest, but I'm not in a dire need for them. But the emotions, the feelings, and what else did I say? Worlds and more places to build and stuff. The first 4 of what I talked about is what I kind of want the most in The Sims 4. But anyway, if anything else crops up, I'll definitely do another video on it. No doubt, it probably will. Doubt there'll be more things. But again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my very next video. I'll talk to you later. Bye bye!